Hey there everybody, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to be looking at one of the latest features shipped in Komiser version 3.0.18. It's the Custom Webhooks feature. The feature was shipped by project maintainer Shubham Padrawala. And yeah, in this video, we're just going to look at a simple use case of something that might be relevant to you and show you the way you can easily get some use from this new feature. So let's head over to Komiser. I have Komiser deployed right here locally on my machine. As you can see here in the dashboard, I have a good few cloud providers connected already. But let's head over to the inventory page. Here I have the aggregated view of all of the resources across the different cloud providers, across the different cloud sources. Let's just have a quick look here at what we have configured. So as you can see here, I have a bunch of cloud provider sources such as GCP, AWS, Scaleway, MongoDB, Atlas. Okay, so let's think of a use case that might be common in your environment. Imagine if you're a team lead, you're an SRE or DevOps engineer, and you're in charge of a specific app. What's more than likely the case is that you're also going to be in charge, or someone close to you is going to be in charge of the cloud resources that software runs on. So you're going to want to be aware of the costs associated to those services. You're also going to want to know the actual number of services that are provisioned at any one time. If there's any scale outs, if there's any particular spikes in capacity, you're going to want to know, right? So what you can do with Komiser is you can apply tags to your resources, and this metadata allows you to discover those resources and to filter them quite easily. So let's go ahead and do that first step. So I'm going to filter down this inventory page. I've already applied some tags to some resources, and so let's go ahead and find those resources. So I'm going to filter by a specific tag. The key is app and the value is Jake blog. Okay, so we have 6 AWS resources that have been tagged with JBlog. One of them is actually incurring costs at the moment. It's an EC2 instance, and I'm sure this might be the case for yourself in your organization. You might be in charge of a certain subset of cloud resources. So you're going to want to know, you're going to want to be aware if there's any sudden changes or anything. And the way that we can do that with Komiser is by applying alerts. But before we do that, we're going to save it as a custom view, so we don't need to filter this inventory list every time we come in. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to call it project 1, for example. Okay, so so it looks like I misspelled that. So let me just edit the view name. So it's project 1. Okay, so I've just updated that view. So now we have this custom view that's easily accessible. This is the view that I want to apply an alert to. So let's head over to alerts, and I'm going to add an alert. There's 2 different types of alerts that we can create. The first is the one that we send directly to Slack, and this is the new alert, the custom webhook integration that was newly shipped. And as you can see, this can be a cost alert or a resource. So let's give it a name. So I'm going to give it a P1, for example. And let's just leave this as 0 at the moment because I actually want to be alerted. So now in the output area, you can choose the output URL that you would like to send this alert action when it takes place. You now have to think to yourself, what do you want to happen once an alert takes place? What we're going to do today is we're going to add a Zapier endpoint. Zapier is an automation orchestrator in which you can choose sources and endpoints for things to happen. It's a really cool tool that acts sort of as glue between different third-party tools. If you've never used Zapier before, I'll add a tutorial in the description below. But since this isn't a Zapier tutorial, I won't go into too much detail, but just so you know, I've already created a Zap, which is a sequence of automations that I want to take place. So let's take a look at the Zap. So I've defined a source, which is the listener to the Komiser alert events. This source outputs the URL that we need in the output section of Komiser. So let's go ahead and grab this. So I'm going to output this right here. We've also added a way for you to test the endpoint to make sure that it's a working endpoint. So I'm just going to press this here. The endpoint is valid. Cool. So I'm going to set this up. But at the moment, nothing is going to really happen because the Zap that I created isn't live yet. So let's go back over to Zapier. So before we turn this Zap on, which we would do right here, let's just see exactly what's going to happen. So what I've configured to happen after Zapier detects an alert, two things are going to happen, two actions. The first is we're going to send a message to a channel, to the moderators channel in the Tailwarden Discord server. And then after that, an issue will be created on Linear, which happens to be the platform that we use to organize and track tasks. So this is something that you could probably easily apply in your organization. Whenever there's an alert inside Komiser, you're going to want to receive a message somewhere, and you're also going to want a ticket to be created so you can track the work that's been done to remediate that issue. Below I could add more actions, but at the moment that's what I want to happen. So let's turn on this automation. Okay, so this automation is now live. So in order to trigger the alert, I'm just going to kill the Komiser process and restart it, just so we can expedite the Komiser fetching process. So I've now started again, and we should be able to go over to Linear. And we can see that now a ticket was created with a description here. Now we can work on it and track the work that we do to remediate the issue. And as you can see over in Komiser in the channel, we've also received the second message from the alert. And there you go, that's pretty much it. Now you can add as many alerts as you want. You can choose whichever endpoint that you would prefer. Now you know that this webhook is fully customizable and it's fully available from the latest version of Komiser. I hope you find it useful. If you have any issues configuring or using it, please let us know on the Discord server. We'll be happy to help. Thanks a million for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.